G'day guys, I'm back. Take two for my layered straight pour. It's kind of a ring pour, kind of a wing pour, as in angel wings, but I don't want the definite stripe down the middle and one wing on that side and one wing on that side. I want a bit more movement, sort of an oceany sort of a look. So if you saw my previous video, you'll see exactly what went wrong. I had way too much paint. I filled this up, the paint was running down here. When I poured, it all ran down there and onto my table. It was a huge mess. So I've cut down on my paint and let's go again. See if we can do it again. Right, so same mix, pouring medium. I've filled up my container. 3 cups Floetrol, 2 cups PVA glue. Use a craft glue for better results with all paint brands. And 1 cup of your choice of pouring medium. This one's global, but as I said previously, you can use Liquitex, you can use Vallejo, GAC 800, whatever you like really. I don't think it makes a difference. The consistency might be a slight bit of difference, but I'm sure you'll work it out. Now, paint ratio to pouring medium is 2 to 1, so 2 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint. In the cups I have 140 grams of pouring medium, and I just weigh it on my little kitchen scales, to 70 grams of paint, which is 210 grams by 5 colours is 1,050 grams, so basically 1,000 grams, and let's hope that works. So I have black, navy, that's deep space, and metallic copper. I did add an extra blob of copper just to thicken it up just a touch. Morena, which is a light blue, and this is just a mid blue. It's a cross between cool blue and cobalt. Okay, no silicone, don't need it. I've got a tiny little bit of black left over for my corners if I need it. Got my heat gun ready to go. Now I'm only going to layer in twice. I think I get a better result from layering twice rather than layering 3 times. I have more of a block colour, and yeah, I don't think it sort of muddies as much when there's just 2. So I'm going to use half of this. I probably got a little bit too much actually, so probably won't use all of it. There might be a little bit left over in my cup because I don't want to go down the same path as last time and have too much paint and not being able to tilt enough because there was just too much. So I'm going to pour down where the spout is. So black first, then my copper, and then my navy. So just pouring gently to sit on top of the paint. And the light blue. It's quite a thick mix. It doesn't drop through. It's much thicker than I would use even for my flip cup pours. When I do my flip cup pours, I do a ratio of 3 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint. As I said earlier, this is 2 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint, so it's a lot thicker. You can see the mound that it leaves on top, and the mound kind of leaves a mound, so it's quite a high mound. In with the blue. And a black again, and I'm going to leave just a tiny bit in there of all my colours because I don't want it to overflow again. I don't think it will, but just going to be on the safe side. Some more copper, and now I'm going to change it up. I'm going to put the light blue next. I'm going to use more of that. I might use it all actually because I really like the light blue against those dark colours, because the black, the navy and the mid blue, they're all quite dark. This is my only light colour So I'm going to use all of that up. And then the blue. Okay, so much different to the last one. I'm not overflowing. Oh, I forgot my navy. That's okay. I wanted to put navy after the light blue. That's all right. I'll put it in now. There we go. So still plenty of room left. I'll get these cups out of the way. Move everything away. Make some room. I do like a clean table, I must say. I'm not a messy worker. I try not to be. I like to be a clean worker. Okay, so hopefully when I tip this, see all my colours are aiming this way. Hopefully when I tip it, it's not going to all run down the front of the jug like it did last time and make a huge mess. All right, cross your fingers for me, guys. Let's do it. I'm going to lift it up just a touch. Oh, it's pouring over the spout a little bit, but certainly not as bad as it did last time. Have to make sure I lift it up high enough so I'm not touching the bottom of the jug in the paint. I'm just trying to pour in the same spot. This is the nerve-wracking part, isn't it? Trying to keep a steady hand. Oh, I'm loving this feathering. It's gorgeous. I'm doing some sort of bigger, slower blobs here, so my feathering's a bit different too. It's kind of more like fingers than feathers, which I'm liking. I think the speed that you pour this is going to make a difference for your feathering too. It's kind of folding where it's going slower and closer to the canvas. It's making a different shape. Can't see what's going on the other end of the canvas. My arm's in the way. I don't think that paint's down the bottom yet. Is it? Can't see. All right, nearly there. Hopefully the paint's nearly there too. All right, I'm going to stop there. I have got a little bit left in my jug. Wow, is that pretty or what? So, pretty much to the sides. And I'm going to torch first to pop a few bubbles. And if the cells want to come up, that's okay. Pop you bubble, there's one up there. I'd rather have the cells to begin with and have them stretch a little bit and pop them afterwards and get little tiny ones. So that's the plan. I shouldn't get many with such a thick mix. Because I've got Floetrol in the mix, you are likely to get cells, but the thicker your mix, the less likely you are to get cells. Got a bit close there, might have burnt that bit of paint. Okay, let's do it. So I don't want to really go that way, I just want to go forward and back. We'll see what happens. I probably will have to go a little bit to get these corners, but I don't mind filling them in with black later on. I can't actually remember what I did now for the one I did last night. It's a bit of a blur because I've done another one since then and I just don't remember what I did with it. So I'm going to go to there and then this way a bit. Hope you can still see that. So I've spread the paint a little bit towards that edge. Now I'm spreading it a little bit towards this edge. This is bending a bit here, don't know why. Come on, paint. I need you to straighten up. Get your act together, straighten up. It's doing a bend. don't know why. I think maybe my mid blue was slightly thicker than my other colours. Moving quite slow. I did purposely make it a tiny little bit thicker. Instead of going a couple of grams under in my paint mix when I measured, I went a couple of grams over, just to be on the safe side. I wanted it to be a little touch thicker. I'm just going to go over the edge here. So it's that blue again. I think it might be just a touch thicker than my other colours. Oh, this is the one I used all of it, wasn't it? I haven't got any left. It's always the way. The one you want, you haven't got any left. Let's see if I can just move the weight of the paint to help it get over there just a touch. Okay, I want to keep that tiny little bit of light blue there if I can. If I don't like it afterwards, I'll tip it off, but I quite like it there just for the moment. Okay, let's turn. So far, so good. I'm happier with this one. I didn't splurge all the paint off the edge. Didn't run it all over the edge of the cup. So that's good. And I'm liking this feathering. They're like little fingers because my mix is slightly thicker, so they're kind of like little fingers. That's what I think anyway. Cute. Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know whether that was a good choice to keep that. Oh well. I don't know why it's done this on both sides. Never mind. It's done now. Can't change it. I will take the weight down a little bit and just help it off the edge. Shouldn't make too much of a difference to what's going on up here. Oh, it looks as if I'm going to lose that. That's okay. I'll probably do it the same on the other side as well then, if I can. Probably looks better actually, not having that blob of copper. Okay, probably should have taken more paint down there because these corners are going to be difficult to get to. Kind of lost my copper on this one, haven't I? My other one I had heaps and heaps of copper on. Okay, I'm going to go that way. See if I can stretch all these rings out. So just straight up. I'm not tilting it towards you or towards me, just straight up. Although I will go to that corner. As I said, I'm not after a wing paw as such with angel wings. I just want more movement in my painting. I think I'm going to stop there and put some black. Probably could have used that. Look, I've got a little bit of paint left. First time I had too much and now this time maybe I don't have enough. Maybe it's just because it's so much thicker. It just seems thicker. It probably just seems thicker because I haven't got as much, so it's not moving as fast. But as I said, my ratio is the same, 2 to 1. Put a little bit of black there, and a little bit of black on this corner. We'll do the sides later. A copper, it's kind of disappearing. Now I'm going to turn it, because you know I like to tilt away from myself. How much paint have I got there? Not too much. I did a little coaster dip with my other paint. It's got a little bit muddy up here. I don't know why. It's never the same, is it? You can try and recreate something, but it's never ever the same. Maybe I haven't got enough paint on this one and I'm stretching it too much, and that's why I'm getting the mud. Do you think? I think. I'm having trouble getting to that corner down there. Gone from one extreme to the other. Not enough Too much paint, not enough paint. What can you do? Try for the third time, perhaps. All right, I'm just going to go over to that corner and get that little bit of copper off there at the same time. And a little bit, tiny little bit more, and then I'll come back because I don't mind that black corner, same as the other one. Bring it back to the middle. Okay, I'll go around here and fill in this little bit of black. I do think though that I've miscalculated and not had enough paint for this one, overstretched it, and got a little bit muddy up here. Okay, that corner's done. Now, the trick is trying to get up here. This is going to be the problem. I don't mind having that black corner and this black corner, but I still do need to bring up that paint quite a bit, don't I? I certainly do. All right, let's see if I can do it without overstretching too much. I really like this half, not so much that half. This went out first, this poured out first, so it came out nice and clean. This bit here was in the jug for much longer. It came out last. It muddied more. I'm wondering if I do two separate jugs. So it's really clear there, less clear, and very muddy. I'm just wondering if I do two jugs with fresh paint in each, because this might not muddy so much because it's been in the bottom of the jug for a lot longer. Maybe that could be the reason. Not sure. Okay, straight down to cover these. Paint's moving really slowly. As I said, it's quite thick. It's moving slowly. These are opening up a little bit, these rings, I guess you could call them. Even though it's moving there, it's not really doing much down here at all. I'm going to use some of this black paint, which is a touch thinner, and just see if I can coax that paint to come down, because the paint does run easier on a wet canvas. So if I just do this, maybe it'll help it to run down. So does this mean I have to do a third one and have a set of 3 in these colours? I guess so. All right. A little bit here. Okay, let's do it. I probably should have made the paint go down a bit further when I was pouring from my jug. Just so that I could cover down there a little bit more. It's not really moving very well, is it? I have to come this way a touch. Do you want to turn it around so you can see? Turn it around. Otherwise you can't see what I'm doing, can you? Everything's that little bit trickier with a big canvas. So the copper up here, kind of lost it, hey? It's muddier. All right, let's go. So I'm going to tilt it a little bit towards you at the same time. Just try and get the paint to go down to that corner a touch. But I am losing my shapes. What can you do? You can keep practicing, that's what you can do. A lot of paint on here, it's very thick. Maybe it's too thick. All right, that corner's done. Let's bring it back just a touch. I wanted fluid movement and I've got it, haven't I? Certainly got it in this one. Some people will love it, and I'm sure some people will hate it. I might have brought that down a bit far now. Okay, I think I'm going to have to just leave it. Have to say at some stage enough is enough and just leave it. I'm just a bit sorry that I've lost all that light, that blue. Would have been nicer if it was through the middle. Just different, isn't it? All right, I'm going to touch up my sides. A little bit of black here. So what do you think? Do you want to see a third one? Go again. A little bit more paint. Maybe a touch thinner. I added an extra blob of copper. I added an extra blob of black because I thought, oh, it's a bit thick, a bit thin. We didn't need to. And I've still got some paint left in my jug, which isn't a good thing. I should have used it all up. All right, finish off this little corner and then I'll take you in for a close-up. Matches the other one nicely, same colours. It's just not as bright. As I said, my copper's just muddied a little bit, lost a bit of its brightness. Just touch that up where I've put my fingers in it when I've turned it around. And that one where I've put my fingers in it. And the other thing that you always need to do before your painting dries too much is just run that little palette knife around and catch your drips. It's easier to do it now than it is when the paint started to dry and to set. Then you make a little ridge along the edge of the canvas and you actually see it. So it's better to do it now and the paint can have a chance to drip down over that little area that you've made a mark on. You know what I mean? Okay, done. Kind of looks like a, I don't know what it looks like. Is it a cave coming from the dark into the light? I don't know. I don't think that's as nice as my previous one. All right, let's take you down for a close-up. Come around. The copper looks kind of more chocolatey, doesn't it? Okay. Here we go. Now this is pretty up here, these fingers, as I call them. They're not quite feathers, they're more fingers. A little bit thicker. And I guess that does indicate that my mix is a little bit thick. And then up here, where we've got a little bit more copper, it's kind of like, what do they call those sea anemones that live under in the ocean and they wave around in the water and they catch, I don't know, plankton or they catch little fish or whatever they catch, not sure. Reminds me of them, this bit. So I don't dislike it, it's just not what I was expecting. Never are they? Paws are never what we were expecting. And I'll spin around and show you the other one. There we go, sitting on the other side of the table. It's probably a little bit more abstract, but the copper, you can see more of the copper. Each colour's a little bit more brighter, it hasn't muddied as much. And then over there's my little guy from last night. Still my favourite. Colours are really nice and bright and separated. Still pretty, but a little bit more lopsided, I guess. And back over here. Totally different. Still pretty. All right, let me know which one you like. Tell me if you think I should go again, make a third one with more paint, but less than the first time, and maybe a little bit thinner. Okay, see you for the next one. Bye for now.